Hey guys, okay, it's been a while since I've gone live, and since I have some restrictions on my account right now, I don't know if this will actually get out there or not. But I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has been so kind with sending out prayers, with reaching out, asking if I need anything, and checking in on me for the update. So I got a phone call today from the doctor's office to check on me post biopsy and to give me an update. Hey Jeff. It's not the update that I wanted to get or to share, but I am just very appreciative of all of you guys. So, and I'll try to do it without crying, but I can't guarantee. So it is breast cancer. The left side, and I'm looking at my notes because I know that I can't, I know that I'll probably just go blank on this. So the left side, I have invasive ductal carcinoma. It is a grade 3 out of 3. Which basically means that there are more cancerous cells than non-cancerous cells. It has not spread, so when they did the scan for my lymph nodes, it is not in my lymph nodes, it is just in my breast tissue, so it is not metastatic. It is only, sorry if you hear that, that would be my dog throwing the ball, trying to get me to play. It is 7 millimeters, so it's very small. The right side, there's no issues there. And just to kind of walk through a little bit about the doctor's appointment yesterday and some of the things. And I'm going to be open and transparent with this journey. And the reason is because as I've gone through other journeys, I've been open and transparent out of just caring for other people, because sometimes it can help somebody else with some inspiration. And so I'm just going to share that journey with you guys. So, the doctor's appointment yesterday, basically, I was a freaking wreck. My daily devotional had talked about a woman that was, had just had her prayer essentially right before her breast cancer surgery, and it shook me to my core. It was a mess, and so when he called me in to actually do the procedure on the left-hand side, I was bawling because I just thought, okay, is this God like preparing me for the diagnosis? And so I told him, I was like, I'm terrified. And the doctor was very reassuring. He said, look, I've spent an extensive amount of time looking at your scans, your mammograms from last week or a couple weeks ago, whatever it was. And he said, just the indications of it, he said, I can't make any promises, because that's why we're here. We're doing a biopsy. We biopsy anything that has a 2% or greater chance of being or becoming cancer. And basically that's your, sorry, she really wants to play ball. Roxy, you're not going to get it. You're going to have to wait. Go get another ball. And so the, basically it was not symmetrical or whatever. So it didn't, that's why there was some concern with it. And because it was something that had shown up this year that was not there previously. So basically we caught it early. I do not know the treatment for it yet. I spoke with the nurse a second time because I'd asked her some other questions. The prognostic measures, which would be like the hormone receptors, if it's estrogen receptor negative or positive, et cetera, that part of the report is not back yet. They just wanted to go ahead and get the call to me so that I knew what the outcome was and heard it from a nurse instead of hearing it from, opening up my chart. I am scheduled to go to the treatment team on Wednesday, the cancer treatment team, and kind of hear what the approach is and what the treatment options are. But I'm also not necessarily 100% sold. If you are local and are aware of the different breast cancer treatment options and centers and have opinions on this, please reach out, because right now they're pushing me through to Cone. I don't know if Cone is necessarily where I will plan on going. So I know with Duke, UNC, Wake Forest, those are all about an hour drive. So if you've gone through this, if you know somebody else who's gone through this, you have insight on this, please reach out to me, because I want to make the most informed decision, because I realize it's not just going through and getting treatment. It is also, I don't know what the surgery will be before, during, after. And some of these hospitals, I'm going to say some of them are kind of gross. And so I want to know that I'm in a sterile environment. So if you have opinions on that, please share them with me if you want to reach out privately, because of the fact I know a lot of you guys that I know fortunately are in the healthcare profession, and so maybe you may not want to say it on here. Feel free to reach out to me privately. That would be like, everybody is asking. I'm so grateful for those of you guys that are asking, like, what can you do? That's one, is if you have thoughts or opinions, informed thoughts and opinions on the treatment center options around here, then please share them with me. The other thing that, when you hear this and you think this can be really freaking expensive, I am incredibly grateful for the background, and so this is part of why I want to share this journey with you guys, because I want to walk through the different things to think about, because there's a lot of things that went through my mind. The first thing was where everybody's mind goes, which is, this is going to kill me. But that's really just not realistic, and knowing how things have changed, my brain's not allowed to go there. So it was to process everything, to get all the information, and then to try to figure out what's next. And then it was, okay, how am I going to tell the girls? And I will say this, because I'm sure that some of you guys are going to ask this. I have a foreign exchange student this year. One of my first things was, no, I'm not sending her home. I committed to her being here. God put it on my heart to have her here. She's here for the year. I have spoken to her. I've spoken to her parents. So we're going to see how all of this goes. But, a commitment is a commitment, and I'm grateful that she's here, and I know that there's reasons why she's here. So as far as, when people are asking, what can you do? I'm going to say this, like, my goal with this is to get through this, with the least invasive options to be healthy. But I also am determined that my girls are not going to have a school year that is completely full of, dealing with my cancer. Is it going to be there? Yeah, it is. But it's important to me that they have as normal of a school year as possible. So, if you guys have ways to think through that, if there's ways that if you're saying, how can I help, that's it right there. I want them to have the most normal school year. I still want to be able to do fun things. And I will say, so one of my friends this past week actually passed away from melanoma. I just found out that it was today that he passed away. I knew that he was kind of taking his he was on hospice care and comfort measures, and I don't expect this to go there because of the early diagnosis, et cetera. But I watched his journey the last couple of years, and the thing that just stood out to me was how they made sure that they made family time the priority. That, yes, his illness was there, and it wasn't like it was in the background, it was there. But the focus was on the family, and that is what is most important to me, is that the memories are there, that it's not just a matter of just making this a year of bawling and crying. There's going to be a lot of it, I know. And it's not going to be easy. But that's my top priority. So if you have thoughts on that, then, I want them to have amazing memories. Sarah's only committed to being here for a year, and Emmy's blessed to be able to have an exchange sister for a year. So I want to create as many wonderful memories as I can during this year. Other things, so thinking about it, first of all, I'm grateful for my boss, and thinking about what are those other factors, because there's so much to consider. And I have the most amazing boss who, we had talked through some other stuff before, and she was incredibly supportive. This is, I guess, where it's a good thing that my company has some divisions based in Europe, because of the way that things are structured, and the way that they care for their employees, and the way that they deal with health issues. It's just health comes first. And I know in the U.S. we tend to sacrifice a lot. So first thing that she did was, she was like, I need to reach out to USHR. I need to figure out what all your rights are. I need to make sure that you are getting what you need, and that you are able to take care of yourself. So I'm incredibly grateful. The other thing, background as a pharma rep, and thinking about just with having a daughter, when it comes to annual enrollments, and I'll say this because it's September, so annual enrollment's coming up. And one of my coworkers several years ago was actually diagnosed with lymphoma, and I remember her talking about the importance of having the supplemental insurance benefits and of adding them. So I had done that, thank God. But also I went and looked at my plan. Okay, what's the maximum out of pocket for the year? Because it can be really overwhelming when you look at medical expenses and you think about, okay, what's about to start freaking racking up? And so I looked at my, spend for the year. I looked at my maximum out of pocket for the year. How close am I to that? How do I allow the supplemental benefits to work? And thank God my boss told me just take the day and process all of this. And so these were the things that I was doing today, was figuring these things out. And I am truly grateful for the fact that I had set things up the way that I needed to. So I feel very reassured with the ability to be able to work through all of that. And so I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for those of you that reached out. And I'll say this, like, there's part of me that wanted to be like, I need to clean myself up before I get on this Facebook Live, but here's the thing. I've shared my journey on difficult things, and the reason that I've shared my journey and the reason that you guys have shown up is because I'm not going to BS you. I'm not going to sit there and, sugarcoat it and pretend that things are all beautiful, and they're not. I spent half the day crying and praying and, and trying to answer questions and trying to make sure that I didn't get this out before I talked to Emmy and Sarah, because they needed to hear it from me. So I was able to do that, and I'm grateful that I was. And I will say that my ex-husband is being incredibly positive, and I'm hoping and praying that, again, if there's anything good that can come out of all of this, that things can maybe get a little bit more neutral there, with keeping Emmy at the center of our decisions and being more positive, because the last several years have been incredibly rough. So that to me is important. But I did, I called him today and asked him to bring her over so that I could tell her in person, and he did. And so she knows that we're going to do this together. He's married. I'm not asking him to be my partner through this, just to be clear. So, but that we're both there to support her. So, if there's anything good that can come out of that. The other thing, I am, of course, after 20 years in pharma and looking at the different things and knowing that, I don't completely bash pharmaceutical products. That's, you have cancer, like you go into those treatments. But I believe in treating the whole body. I'm a huge advocate of integrative medicine. They are MDs, PAs, NPs, et cetera. And they have gone back to get additional training in how other things impact your body, because your regular doctor can tell you just, eat well and exercise, but what does that look like? So I have been going to an integrative medicine doctor, and that was one of my first things that I did after I got the diagnosis, was to message my integrative medicine doctor. And last week when I saw him for my semi-annual wellness, because of the fact that he knew kind of, where we were in this journey, he had already come up with a 14-page protocol, which intimidated the crap out of me. And I was like, I'm not ready to do all that. But a 14-page protocol looking at nutrition, looking at repurposed drugs that have, they're actually all generic, and then supplements and things that would complement what happens with traditional Western medicine. So as soon as I messaged him, he was like, okay, I need to see you Monday morning at 10 o'clock. So I'm going there on Monday, and I'm grateful because, some of my local friends immediately said, hey, I'll go to your appointments with you. So I have one that is sweet enough to go with me to the appointment Monday. Another one is going with me to the appointments Wednesday. But as I said, right now it's Cone, but I don't know 100%. I'm going to pray about it, but I also want to make an informed decision. So, if you have opinions on breast cancer treatment centers locally, please share them with me. It is, just for those of you that joined late, left side, the left breast, invasive ductal carcinoma, grade 3 out of 3, and it has not spread in my lymph nodes. It is just in my breast tissue. So anyway, that is the update. I will try to stay as real as possible. And I know everybody that has breast cancer, their thing, go get your mammograms, go get your mammograms. I'm going to take a slightly different approach. Know your body and pay attention. I can't say that I was the person that was so good at doing monthly self-breast exams, because I'm not going to lie. I found the lump because the chair that I'm sitting in, this is my chair where I sit down and have my journaling, my gratitude journal, and write, do my Bible study and things like that. And God just put it on my heart, actually, the day after my exchange daughter arrived. God put it on my heart that I needed to check my left breast, and I did, and I found the lump. And that's been the last month. So know your body, pay attention to your body when it sends you signals, when God gives you a little God wink and tells you what's going on. Listen and pay attention. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Have a great evening.